All right, we are now live. Just decided to go ahead and do a live stream this morning. Even though I hadn't planned to do one, I just got up kind of early and got some good sleep last night. And so I'm just kind of chilling right now. And we're going to get some stuff going over the stove. I've got potatoes and eggs that we're going to do this morning over the stove. And we just had the sun come up over the ridge. Let's go check this out real quick. Hang on one second. Just had the sun come up. There is the sunrise at my place. So, Explore Northwest, how's it going? And I've got the hot tub going as well. And it's starting to warm up here a little bit. Let's see, I want to check the temperature. I cleared out the water last night, so you see how nice and clear it is in there. So, hey, what's up, Greg? How you doing? Max, what's up? Carolyn, how's it going? Give Rufus some loving from me. Almy, what's going on? Tim, how's it going? So the forecast is pretty good right now, though. It's going to be like about 50 today, and there's the nice clear water that I put in last night, and really had a nice soak in here, and got everything. Just got real good sleep last night. So, but here's looking at the camper right now. A lot of our snow is melted. Yesterday we had some sun that came in, and just kind of got the snow all squared away. We still have stuff in the shadow areas, but the stuff that's exposed and like the road over here that I made, all this stuff. Hey, what's up, William? How you doing, brother? Pretty much all that except for this area that gets shade, end up melting. But there's the sun coming up over the ridge, and it's gonna be a real nice day today. Be good too. I need to harvest some solar. My batteries kind of died on me, so I've got the truck camping battery, the EcoFlow one here. The Max, the River. What is this one? Let's see, it's the EcoFlow Delta Max 2. This one's a good battery. I like it. So I use that as a backup, and I've only got, let's see how much power I've got. I've got 13%. So we'll be good for a little bit. Let me flip this around though. And let's see, there it goes. Everything's going good here. Like I said last night, got some good sleep. I hit the hot tub at about, at about 8 p.m. and stayed in it until about 9:30. So it was real nice. Yo, what's up, Kevin? How you doing, brother? Hope everything's going good. So I got some good sleep, and I'm feeling a lot better this morning. And we've already got, let's see. Let me go like this. I've already got my potatoes already all cut up and everything and diced up and ready to go for throwing on here. And the skillet's warm because I've had the skillet on here for a little while. So let me shut these blinds real quick. That way the light won't mess everything up. So I'm planning to spend the day just kind of chilling in the hot tub and getting some stuff done around here. I've already got another video almost done for y'all for today. So I've kind of just been working like crazy, since Sierra's passing, just because it helps to keep my mind off things. And I've also been going through a lot of old footage, and I found some really great stuff of Sierra, which I'll show you here in just a little bit. Just some great footage of her like being in the tent, sleeping, being in the, how she'd be all cuddled up on the cot and stuff like that. So it was really, really nice to see that footage. I watched that this morning about 5 a.m. when I woke up, and just really had some good memories about her. So let me throw this on here, and then we got to dice up another potato. It's going to be a 2-potato morning because these potatoes that I have are kind of small. And we're going to do cast iron potatoes like this, and then also throw some eggs in there. And then I've got some cheese which I can put on top. I picked up a grater, and so that way I can do cheese easily on the stuff. And then the type of cheese we're going to use this morning is called Dubliner. It's from Kerrygold. I like this. It's pretty good. It's from Ireland. It's got a unique flavor to it. It goes great on top of the potatoes like that cooked up, or hash browns, or but also good for breakfast sandwiches. Like if you have like an egg sandwich with, hey, what's up, William? Thank you for that, brother. If you have like an egg sandwich that has bacon on it and all that stuff, you put that cheese on it, it's really good. And then I also like smoked Gouda. Smoked Gouda is really good. So hey, what's up, Blake? How you doing, brother? Let's see, Sunkiss Highway. How you doing? Let's see, CC Cat, right on. All right, I've got a bunch of people here. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Also, thank you so much for the support for, with what's happening with Sierra and all that stuff. And, it really makes me feel good that so many people have reached out. I hadn't checked that post that I made on YouTube on the community section about Sierra when she had passed. The one that started out said, "I'll forever be grateful." And I went back and looked at it, and I had no idea that over 1,000 people had commented, which is just amazing. Like the outpouring of support has made this so much easier for me. And it's one of those things that you get out here, and not that I ever feel alone, because I'm not like, I love you too, Kevin. Not that I'm ever I'm lucky in that regard. I think I kind of call it my superpower, because I'm never lonely, no matter if I've been by myself for days at a time. It doesn't matter. But why is that not working? But having Sierra not here has definitely been an adjustment, because I when I hit the road, she was with me, and so I don't know this life without her. But it's been having all the comments and all that stuff has really helped me just to put things into perspective, and realize just how much how lucky I was to have her with me. So maybe go to bring on the bacon. See, I got another comment too from Hypno. Let's see, hey brother. Yeah, she was so much fun, and that's why I can't be pissed about all the time I got to spend with her. I mean, we spent every day together for 9 years, like every day. And the only time I didn't see her was when there was one time I went to Big Bend National Park, and I was away from her for 2 days. And then there was another time where when she went to the hospital when she got diagnosed with cancer. So other than that, we were with each other every day, all day. And I even made it a point that I didn't have a nightlife when I lived on the road, because a couple of reasons for that. Number one, I didn't want Sierra to be sitting in a truck when I was out, at a bar or a restaurant or whatever when we were on the road. So we would always do dinner at camp, and I'd always make sure to spend all my evenings with her. And then if we had people at camp, obviously we were kicking it with others. But I never sought out like, oh, I'm gonna go to concerts every weekend or whatever. Because I'm like, no, I'm out here with Sierra. Like, we're gonna do this stuff together. And another reason why I didn't go out at night is because it's kind of more comfortable when you're a nomad to set up all your stuff before dark. Because after dark, it can be kind of it can be kind of dicey if you're in a new area, you don't know where you're at. And see, like I was doing 4x4 stuff, so I wasn't pulling into like a parking lot, that wow, Tanya, -50 in Canada, that's awesome. But like when you're doing it in a 4x4 truck and you're doing everything in the backcountry, you're not pulling into a parking lot to where it's like what the obstacles are. You're pulling in, it's dark as all get out. There's no lights out there in the backcountry, and you might have low-hanging branches and stuff like that. So setting up after dark isn't ideal. And also too, you got to watch out for widowmakers. Like the trees that are really really big but are dead standing. I know some places where people camp, and I'm like, dude, look around you. It's like there's trees that are leaning over that are dead, because Colorado has a lot of dead standing trees because of all the pine beetle kill. And so that's one thing to think about, is that if you're out there and you pull in someplace at night and you have no idea what the trees are looking like, there could be a widowmaker up there and it could hit you. That's something to consider. I have seen pictures of people that have been on the road to where like a tree will fall over in their camp. There was this one that literally the tree fell over on the truck, and they were in a rooftop tent on the back, and the tree fell over. And I was like, man, they were so lucky there weren't branches on that side to hit them. Because like what happens with those trees is they fall, and they have all their branches and stuff. Well, that just sticks into you. I mean, it's not a good way to go. And so that was the reason why I wouldn't really go out at night when I was on the road. And as a result of that, Sierra and I just had so many incredible evenings together. And one of the things that, like I was talking about on the live stream the other day, one of the things that she loved to do was watch the sunset. And she would post up at night looking towards the west as I was making dinner and making us both dinner, because we do dinner at the same time. And so I would post up, and she would sit there, and I have video of it, of like her sitting there just watching the sunset and just staring at it. And I was like, what a cool dog, I mean, we were on the same page about so much stuff, and it was just great to have her with me for so long. So, but things are going good here. I'm staying busy. One of the things that I think is important when you go through loss like that is to is to really take care of yourself, you know? So like no drinking, no none of that stuff, trying to get good sleep, you know, eating really good, making sure I'm hydrated, all those things, you know, because all that stuff helps out and makes you feel better. And plus too, like drinking, I don't know, it's just not, I'll do it every once in a while, but it's just not my thing, you know? But it's just, I mean, I know other people love to drink and everything. That's cool, but I like to get up super early, and just drinking from all that stuff is not. It's not conducive to that. And also out here, you're like working all day long on stuff, and if you don't have anything to do, you know, it's one thing. But you know, most days out here, you're pretty slammed with stuff to do. So, all right, let's see here. We have Baby Yoda said something. Brian, have you considered using? Yeah, Baby Yoda. I've thought about using a diesel heater. The only thing about that is you got to go get diesel. You know. And I got so much I have so much wood on my property, and I love the way the old growth juniper. Like last night, I think I only used like 3 logs of old growth juniper because I can set the damper down here, the airflow on the stove. I can set this to like nothing. Here, I'll show you. You can put it like down to where it's like barely sipping air, just like that. I mean, barely. And then on the back here, you know, this is the. Let me show you this. Whoops. You have another airflow on your stovepipe here. That's wide open to where, you know, there's basically a cylinder in here that goes like this. Then you just basically put it like that. And if if you put your old growth juniper on a bed of hot coals right before you go to bed, right before you sleep, you know, or plan to crash out, then that'll smolder. And the airflow in here, I'm really impressed with this Trekker stove from Kaneko, and they've done a great job with managing the airflow to where you can really have it set real low and it'll still pull through there, meaning that your wood will burn real slow. And the old growth juniper, I mean, it's like lead. I mean, it's super hard. And I know people say juniper is not the hardest wood, but the old growth stuff is, because what happens is the old growth they'll grow, and then part of the trees will die, but they'll stay on the tree, so they'll just naturally season there. And then all you have to do is cut off. Hey, what's up, Danya? You just cut it off, and then you've got yourself like really, really, really good hardwood. And you can get stuff. I mean, that's, you know, it's like this big around. You know, so you cut that in 10 or 12-inch sections, and then chop that up. I mean, you could have 2 or 3 nights worth of firewood, you know, with the way my stuff is set up in here with just the minimal amount of wood that I use. And so it's great. I love this little stove. It's actually sometimes it gets a little too hot in here, and I have to go ahead and, hey, what's up, Mia? How's it going? And then I have to get you know, the open up the windows and all those things. And yeah, Cole, I've got a wood chipper. I like it. It's a little small. It's 3 inches, but you know, it works well for clearing debris and all that stuff. What I do though is I burn all my stuff in the hot tub fire ring, because then it powers up my hot tub, and I don't have to burn like real nice wood, because you know you don't. I use like the rotten wood and like the debris and all that stuff for powering my hot tub. I don't use the really good wood. I use the real good woods here in my stove, because you can put like rotten wood in your stove in here, but it just burns out real fast, and so you don't want to. Yeah, I just rather use that in the hot tub. And then for like debris removal, it's really great for you know, using the fire for that. I do like using the wood chippings though from the cedar, you know, from the juniper in here. I do like using that for the outhouse, because it makes it makes it to where it doesn't smell at all. And it's pretty nice to have. You take that and mix that in with some dirt into your outhouse. You're not going to smell anything. So, all right, I want to dice up one more potato. Actually, you know what? I don't think I'm going to dice up another potato. We'll just do more eggs. Then I've got some fruit we can throw on here too, so we'll do that as well. Have ourselves a grand old breakfast. But I've got I was looking at the weather, and I've got a backpacking stove. So, Chef Brian, yeah, I tell you what, these potatoes are the way to go. I love these things, and cooking them in cast iron is awesome. But what I was saying though is I think tomorrow it looks to be pretty nice weather this week, and I was gonna go out and fly fish on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I thought, why don't I just go ahead and go out tomorrow? And I'm gonna take 2 different tents with me. I do have a backpacking stove that's one of those foldable titanium stoves, which I can use because it's going to be still going to be down to 20s at night where I want to go. But there's some ruins I want to check out. There's like 4 in this one spot, and I'm thinking I could roll over there tomorrow morning, and as long as I get all my stuff done around here, pack up and be be heading out tomorrow at some time just to get there by like midday. And I want to hike up to that ruin that has the multicolored walls where they use different rock to make patterns in the walls. I want to do that one first and then go way back in there because there's like 3 sites that are pretty far in the backcountry, and it's in this canyon that's beautiful, and it'd be awesome to be back in there. And I could take all my wood with me and all that stuff, so it'd be pretty easy to do that. And then I can explore that for 2 days, go see a friend of mine in Prescott, and then drive over Mount Mingus and drop into Jerome. And kind of, if you've never been to Jerome, Arizona, you should go. It's a unique town. It was an old mining town, and it's on the side of this mountain that like is really steep, and you drive up it, and it's all these switchback roads, and it's a lot of history there. It's really cool. I actually thought one time, I was like, man, how cool, how much fun would it be to like rent a place there in the wintertime? Because it's kind of up on this mountainside to where they do get hit with snow. But they look out over Sedona and everything. I was like, how cool would it be to rent like a little house there just for the winter? Because there's no one there in the wintertime. And oh, hey, what's up, Jack? How you doing, man? How's it going on the East Coast, man? Hope things are going good for you. Been enjoying your videos as of late. But I was thinking, like, how much fun would it be to Timmy Kramer lifting weights? Cool, man. Right on, brother. I've been lifting a bunch too lately. But it'd be fun to spend a winter out there in Jerome and like really research the history of that town. It's supposedly Arizona's most haunted ghost town. So William, thank you very much for that live chat, brother. All right, thank you very much. So it's just stuff like that, so I drive through there on Wednesday and then end up in Sedona. And I'm gonna fly fish Sedona for a couple days, and I'm gonna get some killer footage. I mean, I know some places to go in there. Well, that have some good trout and possibly some. I mean, it's winter fishing, so it's gonna be a little bit slower, but we'll see what I can do. And then after that, I think Sierra's Ashles will be ready, and so I'll go pick those up and then come back here. And it looks like this weekend the temperatures are going to be like in the 50s to 60s. So, Terry Vaughn, you said just turned into winter today in Memphis. Yeah, my parents were telling me in Kansas that it's really cold right now. So, oh, see Kenny, that's cool. Cool, man. Yeah, that sounds awesome, man. Just hit me up. But so this weekend is supposed to be real nice weather, and I don't know what next week's gonna look like. I think it's gonna be like in the 50s during the day, and then below freezing at night. But that's one thing I love about being out here in northern Arizona is you don't get like that deep lock, that deep winter lock, that you would like in Crested Butte or Buena Vista or Salida, the places where I used to kind of hang out. And so I can operate out here in the wintertime and get stuff done. And it's one of those things that I think would be it's going to be awesome out here. I'm really looking forward to it. See, somebody was asking about going fly fishing in a shop before a rod. Well, Tanya, I use a type of rod called Tenkara, and the reason why it's a telescoping rod, so it doesn't actually have a reel on it. You just tie a string to the end of it. That's 13 feet, and then you have another 6 feet of fishing line, and that's your rod. And it's styled after the Japanese style of fly fishing. And I'll show you. I've got my setup right here. I got my bag ready to go. I use a Fish Pond waterproof bag, and then I put this on my back, and then I'll have my deal here where I can easily grab this real quick. Yeah, what's up, Nick? How you doing, brother? Let's see, you were saying something there about gonna take the truck and get out of town. Nice, man. Right on. And so this is obviously my net. I recommend if you're gonna be trout fly fishing, they have like a sensitive type of scales on them. Get the rubber kind of net. Don't get the nylon string. Nylon string can actually like scar them a little bit, and especially when it comes to some of the more delicate trout like brook trout. So just something to think about, when you fly fish. They're a little bit more expensive, but you're gonna have a lot better experience too. Like if your fly doesn't get, or your spinning reel or lure doesn't get caught in these as easily as the nylon netting. So just something to think about. They are more expensive, but they're always better quality, and I'd recommend that. So I go with Fish Pond for the net. And then as far as the rod goes, it's a company called Tenkara USA, and it's just tenkarausa.com. And this is my entire fly rod right here. So it comes in this little like padded pouch, and then this is technically the case. The first section of it here is hardened, and then back here is hardened too. And then on the front here, all you do is, you can see how there's like a little string sticking out right there. That's the string where you tie all of your flies to. And so you just pull this open like this, and telescope it out. And this goes to 10 feet. This rod, this is called a Hane rod from Tenkara USA. And it's about 150 bucks to get into fly fishing like this, as opposed to, you know, if you go with like a traditional rod and reel, it can be really expensive, you know. So the price point on this is nice. The reason why I like this is I can put this in anywhere in my pack, and it's not a lot of gear to take up. You know, it doesn't take up hardly any room, and it's super lightweight. This weighs 2.5 ounces, and so it's the Hane rod, which if you look here, here's the size. 10 feet 10 inches is what it telescopes out to. 330 centimeters. So it's Hane. And that's from Tenkara USA. That's based out of Boulder. The guy's name's, is it Michael? I can't remember the dude's name that owns the company. Let me flip these real quick. Hang on. And then I'll show you the string that goes to it. They're fixed strings, so you can kind of, if you want to, you can buy a bunch of it and then make whatever size string that you want. But oh, and then for my waders, I use the G3 waders from Simms. They're considered like pro guide waders, but they just last really long. They're expensive. These are like 600 bucks, but they last really long. And then for winter fishing, I use the Simms, you know, fingerless gloves that are insulated. On the inside, they look like this. Keeps your hands super warm. But this is what I take with me when I go fly fishing. This is my pack. So what I'll do is I'll either put it over me like this, you know, and then have it to the back here, and then have my fly rod with me, and this is my total setup, or I'll take this stuff out of here and put it in my front pouch on my fly fishing gear. And then on the inside of this holds your string, your fly fishing string. And then I have a braided string. If you look at that, it's braided right there. And the reason for that is that cuts to the wind much easier. But you can also use a type of string that has a nylon string, and and it's orange, and it's really easy to see it, and that floats on top of the water real simple. And then at the end of this string, you would just tie your normal fishing line. So I use what's called 5X, and then these are the different flies that I have right here for all different types of conditions. This is like winter conditions over here, streamers, big old crickets, stuff like that. These are more spring, summer, and fall stuff. These are San Juan worms down here at the bottom. Those work anywhere you fly fish. If you throw a San Juan worm in the water, you'll be good to go. And so that's my whole fly setup right there. And you know, in here I'll have different stuff too. I'll have like that. I have like some backup flies that a buddy tied for me. I've also got Easy Dry for the fly, and then Top Ride. And you can also take an aspen tree, and if you don't have any Top Ride with you, Top Ride makes it to where your fly does not get swamped. And so if you've got like a fly that doesn't have foam on the back, this has foam on the back, so it'll float real well, but these ones don't. So when you throw them in the water, they get waterlogged and they'll go down. And so you put that Top Ride on it, and it gives it buoyancy again. You can also take an aspen leaf though, and if you take the aspen leaf and it's a live one, you can rub it on there, and the oils in the aspen leaf will also help it float. So that's just a little trick you can do when you're fly fishing. Let's see. Other than that, that's my whole setup for fly fishing. It's really simple. The casting motion for Tenkara is a simple 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock casting motion. So essentially, you know, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 10 o'clock. That's how you cast it. It's real simple. It's not hard to do. And I like it because you can set up in record time. You know, if you have a traditional setup, it could take you a while to put everything together when you're out there and start fishing. Whereas I can walk along the side of the river, I can bust this out and have the end of this, you know, the line, this all telescoped and the line tied to it and ready to rock in like 30 seconds. So it's great for backpacking, and it's great for any, you know, if you have to hike in a long ways to fly fish. The only difference is that you cannot get out far in, you know, into the water. So if you're in big water, like big rivers or big lakes, you know, you can't really get out far. What I do is love that I can put that in back. Yeah, Tanya, it's really great. It's awesome. And it's so lightweight too, and really easy to use. And then if you break a section in there, because it telescopes out, if you break a section, you just call Tenkara and say, hey, I broke section 3, and they just send you a replacement for that section. Real easy to do maintenance on these. Just keep them real clean and make sure dirt doesn't get inside of them when you telescope them, and you'll be fine. But you know, if you're on a big lake, though, just set up where the feeder streams come into the lake, because on the mountains there's always streams coming into them. So wherever those streams come in, the fish park it there, because that's where the food is at. And so they're coming right in there and they're hitting it and everything. And another thing too is if you have waders, then you can get out in the water further, because like a lot of the high altitude lakes, they'll have a shelf, you know, so that they'll have a shelf that goes out that's rather shallow, and then it gets deep. Well, that deep one section is where the big fish, like the big cutthroats and all that stuff, will sit there, and they'll be like angled up looking at, you know, what's hitting up there. As soon as your fly hits, you'll see a flash and they'll come up and hit it. So if you can get out to where those ledges are, then, you know, you just throw it to there, and you throw to your right and your left, and you'll have like a 20-foot radius all around you if with this setup. Another thing too is that the way you bring them in is that, so I'm 6 foot tall, and or 6 feet tall. There's 13 feet of line on here, and then another 6 feet of fly fishing line. So that's 19 feet, you know, from like if it's extended all the way out. So the idea is that, you know, if I have my hand in the air, so I'm 6 feet tall here, but if my hand in the air, it's like 8 feet, like 8.5 feet or whatever, or I don't know how long my arms are, but let's just say 8 feet. And so if I've got this line up and it's, you know, up there, so let's see, so I've got 8 feet plus the 10 feet that is this, and then the line is going down 19 feet, so I have a foot of drag. Basically, if you stand up and have your line pointed straight up in the air, the fish will be at your feet. Then you just reach down and grab the line. And so always make sure to wet your hand when you're working with trout, just because, like I said, their scales are a little bit more sensitive, and it's you know, it can kind of what can happen is if your skin is dry and theirs is a little bit sticky, it can peel their skin off, which you don't want to have happen. So let's see here. I think somebody was talking here. Let's see. Okay, cool. And then I just found out about here. Oh yeah, I appreciate that. It's, yeah, it's been tough, but it's all the outpouring of support has been amazing. So it's cool. We got somebody tuning in from Norway. What's up, man? Stephen. Let's see. We are drowning in snow this winter. Wow. I'd love to be there winter camping with my tent. That'd be awesome. I love the winter season. It's just something about it, and especially if you can get out in nature during that time and go winter camping. Because I don't know, just something about it. You see a lot more wildlife because the contrast with the white, you know, they blend in so well during the summertime, but in the winter they don't. But I was going to show you this. I was downloading some footage earlier of Sierra, and I had some stuff of her in her favorite environment here. She loved being in that sleeping bag on the cot when we'd be winter camping. She would sit there the entire day and just watch me do stuff around camp. And she'd just be chilling, and she'd be taking naps, and she'd put her little feet in the air and all that stuff. So this is the sort of footage that I'm downloading, you know, from like the past, because I have so much stuff that I can download, which is in the iCloud, that I didn't realize had been uploaded there with my old account. So as soon as I noticed that, I've been going through, and I've got tons of footage. I got footage from our first winter out when she is really young, all the way up until, you know, just last week, you know. So, and I'm really thankful to have had her with me for so long. I go around the property and I talk to her, you know, and just tell her thank you for everything. And like yesterday, I went to a couple of her spots, just like I did a couple of days ago, and just reflected on the fact that I was able to have her with me for so long. And I mean, we had so much fun. Like, I look back on it, I'm like, man, I mean, what a cool experience, you know, and to be out here when there was no one else, to be a nomad back in 2015 when there was no one out, and it was cool. I'd roll into places, people like, oh, they'd be like, so what do you do? I'm like, well, I live in my truck. I'm just kind of traveling across the country. They're like, oh, man. They're like, that's so cool, you know. And so it's it was cool to be a nomad back then. I think the vibe might have changed a little bit now. A lot of people in those areas I've heard are now kind of want to resist the van life and overland crowd, but and I had a hand in that, you know, in making that popular, I think. But also too, it is public land, and the way I look at it up here is like, you know, I'm 1 mile from Prescott National Forest boundary, and I can't be pissed if someone up here is riding trails, even though I love the quiet. You know, if someone's up here riding trails, I live right next to public land. Like, it just comes with the territory. You know what I mean? And so I think that maybe just a little bit of perspective for those folks that are so I don't know if adversarial is the right word or what, but you know, like they're always like causing conflict with people. It's like, just accept it and move on, and don't waste your energy on being negative. You know, there's too much of that in the world. So, but you know, it goes to show like just how much positive there is, that with all the incredible comments that I've got, and or that I've received, and all the outpouring of support, and everybody calling and texting and stuff, it's just amazing. I probably have, I mean, if I respond to every comment on Instagram, Facebook, and then um, YouTube, I mean, it's probably like 2,000, 2,500 comments, which is crazy. So that just makes me feel fantastic that we were able to impact that many people. So let's put our eggs on here, and then we're going to go ahead and throw on some butter on the, or not some butter, some cheese. You know, another thing too I'm thankful for with this life is, when I was in the corporate world, I always like rushed to make breakfast and then get out the door. And I like this lifestyle because it's like you got time in the morning to really dial in your breakfast. And it's made my cooking go off the charts, because when I lived in the corporate world, I mean, I was kind of like just a product of my environment, I guess. It wasn't like I ate horrible, but it wasn't like I was, you know, the model of good health, because I just grabbed stuff on the go because I was always so busy. But being out here and living this way, it's been let me do this over here. It's been pretty awesome. And I've really liked getting my breakfast all dialed in. I mean, you know, if y'all used to tune into the winter camping videos, you guys know that I was like bacon burrito master, and I did that like every day. I get up early and make bacon breakfast burritos, and then I do a live stream, and I'd make another round of breakfast burritos a couple hours later, because I get up so early when we were winter camping, just because like, hey, you get up and stoke the stove, and if I got up and it was like 5 o'clock, I'm like, I might as well stay up and, you know, kind of have a quiet morning, because there's nothing better, especially when it's snowing out, to be sitting in your stove, or sitting next to your stove in your tent at like 5 o'clock in the morning and just kicking it, and it's so nice. Like, just the peacefulness of that is pretty much unparalleled, because it's quiet outside and you can hear this. You can hear the snow hitting your tent, but it's like you're all warm, and you're making your coffee and all that stuff, and you're getting your breakfast going. I'm gonna grab an avocado as well. So we're gonna throw some avocado on here, and then be done shortly. Also, let's go outside real quick. I want to check and see how the hot tub's looking. So let's go out here. Let's see. Do you read in your downtime? Yeah, Marissa, I do read. I've got a bunch of books. Let's see. Let me show you right here. Come on. So I've got Finders Keepers, I Am the Grand Canyon, then Williamson Valley Road. The Williamson Valley Road is that historic ranching road close to me. All right, let's go outside here. See how the hot tub is doing. I'm gonna need to get some more wood. I gotta chop up a bunch, so we'll do that after breakfast. I'm in no hurry to get this going. That'll be nice to hit the tub though soon. All right, let's go back inside. We're gonna get this done. Breakfast is almost completed. And then I will have a new video for y'all this afternoon. I've got another one that, like I said, is almost done. And should be done here. I got like 2 more scenes to shoot, and then we're done with it. So, but I'm doing good, y'all. Like I said, I really appreciate all the incredible support that's been displayed. It's been amazing, you know, to see that many people reach out, and like the stories that people were telling me of Sierra. Like, oh, when I started watching you, Sierra was doing this, and it just brought back so many great memories of the time that we had. And I'm just so thankful to have had her in my life during those times. Because, like, you know, especially when I didn't have a cell phone. I mean, I intentionally did that so that I could spend more time with her. But I mean, our bond was unreal. Like, it was amazing. We had so much fun. I could just look at her, and like everybody's with their dogs that spends time with them. You can just look at your dogs and they know what you're thinking, and you know, and vice versa. So Dexter and Ladybug similar. Cool. Thank you there, Rick. I appreciate that. So, but I'll be all right. You know, I'm excited to get out this week and get some adventures got under my belt, and got some places that I want to check out. And you know, all those ruins that I found. I was going through this morning. I counted up. I've found 61 sites so far. And I can't wait to go up and see him in person. Tim, this is living. I agree. Like, back when I was in the corporate world, you know, I was a slave to the clock, and I worked all the time. I worked like 7 days a week, and it's just so nice to be out here and be away from that, and realize too that, like, I was pretty conditioned. Like, I thought that being in the corporate world was the only way I could ever live and make a living. And thankfully, you know, with the way YouTube's worked out, that's helped. But I've still found that even if that falls away, there's other stuff I could do out here. It just takes, I think what it is you have to immerse yourself in those environments for the opportunities to present themselves. It's hard coming from the outside and coming into like the off-grid world and just automatically gaining, you know, the respect of others, and also too, like, you got to learn a lot of stuff about being off-grid. It's just different. But you know, luckily, I enjoy sharing my life, and even more luckily, it took off on YouTube to where it pays for all this stuff, and I'm really fortunate for that. Like, really fortunate. So, had that not happened, who knows how much different our life would be. I think what would happen is I would have settled in a mountain town in Colorado and probably gotten like a guiding job or a Parks and Rec job, and just done that for the rest of my life. And I'm glad that I'm not there. I mean, I love Colorado, and I'm not saying this to speak poorly of it at all, but you know, there is a lot more people than there used to be. And as a result, that just makes changes both at the regulation level for people living off grid, and then also it changes the vibe. You know, like, I've had people tell me that live in Denver, they're like, yeah, if you want to go camping on the weekends, you got to go out on Wednesday and go reserve your spot and throw like a tent down Wednesday or Thursday, because you can't find a place on Friday anymore. I'm like, man, that sucks. I used to roll up to Keystone on Friday afternoon and pick my spot. And, you know, but like everything, all things change. I'm sure here there's people like that say that about Northern Arizona. You know, oh, I was there 30 years ago, and it was totally different than it is now. And so I think it's all about perspective. And my perspective is one of, like, you know, 20, 30 years ago of Colorado. And I've seen it change over the years, and I was like, oh man, so that's why I would quit going to certain areas, because there was just too many people. And my thing is like, those areas are beautiful. I'll never discredit them for the beauty that they display. But you know, when there's a million people running around, it just changes the experience a little bit. So, you know, it's just kind of the way it is, unfortunately. So, all right, let's check out this. I'm gonna flip this around. Oh, my thing's about out of juice. My little gimbal here is gonna go out of juice, so we'll stop the live stream here soon. But here's what we're looking at with the food. Everything's looking good. These are looking good too. We got nice cheesy potatoes right there for a cheesy guy. All right, looks like that's done. All right, folks, I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy this and get the hot tub going, and then I've got, like I said, 2 more shots that I need to film for the video for today, and then I'll have that up here probably by like noon or something like that. So, but thanks for tuning in. Really gonna crush this breakfast here because I'm starving, and we'll see y'all on the next live stream. All right, thanks, folks.